Hey guys, welcome to today's video where we're going to talk about fishing tips I learned from your mom. All right, so listen, before we jump into today's video, I probably didn't specifically learn these fishing tips from your mom, but this is one of those basic tip videos where they didn't really go together, so I had to come up with some way to get your attention, but this video is not clickbait. Stay tuned to the end. All right, so we're going to talk about some things that you really should consider in today's fishing world, and some things that you should have considered all along that maybe you didn't. The first one, actually, I'm going to give you a heads up of what we're talking about. First, we're going to talk about knots. Then we're going to talk about nets. Then we're going to talk about the internet. And then we're going to talk about excuses. All right, so let's jump right into it. Fishing knots. There's two things I'm going to talk about. Anytime you think about retying a knot, do it. I can't tell you how many times I've thought about retying. I've thought about retying, didn't take the time, and in the next 4 or 5 casts, hook a big freaking giant monster potential personal best fish and break it off. So anytime you think about retying a knot, retie it. In addition to that, you should also retie the knot periodically, and you should inspect the knot after every fish catch. One thing that I don't think people think about is a lot of the smaller fish, a lot of the dinks have a raspier mouth than the bigger fish do, and those little mouths, when they shake their head, will kind of abrade that line right at the knot. So be sure that every time you think about retying your knot, do it. Don't wait. Don't think about it anymore. Just stop and do it. Retie, retie, retie. Now, the second part of the knot thing is I see people getting wrapped around the axle with all these different 400 knots that they want to learn to tie. Learn how to tie one knot and perfect it before you move on, because you're better off tying one knot really well than 6 knots crappy, okay? So I would say start with the improved clinch or the fisherman's knot. I would then move into a Palomar, and then after that, I would worry about some type of connection knot, braid to leader, leader to braid, stuff like that. And then you can get more advanced a little further on. But keep it simple with your knots. Improved clinch, Palomar. I use my version of an Albright knot to connect my braid to leader. But check your knots, retie. This is not something we talk about a lot. And recently, I've seen a lot of people lose fish and have that heartbreak moment. Speaking of heartbreak moments, the second thing I'm going to talk about is landing nets. If you fish in tournaments or if you lose fish at the boat, get a damn landing net. I mean, I don't always use a landing net, but the times that I choose not to use the landing net, I know that day I chose potential violence, meaning I'm going to lose that fish right at the boat and I'm going to beat myself up about it. And sometimes I just don't want it in the way because of what I'm doing, the content I'm creating or whatever, but I know that going in. If you're fishing in a tournament, if you've got limited time to fish and you don't want to lose that personal best at the side of the boat and go, oh, no big deal, and turn it into content like I get the opportunity to do, get a landing net. My favorite landing net is the leverage landing net from the folks at Yak Attack. I actually have been with leverage landing net since before they even were part of Yak Attack. Love that net, love everything about it. But get any landing net that you can easily manipulate, easily manage in the kayak, and that it doesn't get in the way, and it's not such a pain in the butt that you don't want to take it with you when you need it. So get a landing net. It'll get rid of those, and those stories at the boat. Dude, I had to fish to win it, man, right at the boat. I was trying to land it, and my line got caught around my doom of the flachi, and then my pants leg got caught on my foot steering. Just get a landing net. All right, the next one I'm going to talk about is the internet. The internet is a great double-edged sword. Spend some time on the internet learning. Spend some time on the internet exploring. Watch some videos. Read some articles. But here's what I want to advise you to stop doing on the internet. Stop hating on other people's fishing content. Take the amount of time it takes you to type out a hateful comment that does nothing for anybody. And nobody likes a content comment section expert. If you're so good at providing feedback and contradicting everybody that creates content, you should be creating your own content so other people can criticize and critique it. So here's my thing. Get off the internet. Get off the internet. Get off the internet and get out on the water and go fishing. Stop taking that time that you spend either writing hateful comments or reading hateful comments or replying to hateful comments that other people are making, and turn that time into time on the water. Learn something. Invest in yourself, become a better angler. And that ties right into my last one, which is stop making excuses. And it ties into the comments thing on the internet and the hateful comments, because right now I see this weird trend where people aren't accepting responsibility for where they're at in fishing. It's somebody else's fault why they're not catching fish. Oh, I don't have a bass boat. I don't have forward-facing sonar. I can't afford a kayak to get off the bank. I don't got no graphite rods. I just got a ugly stick and a line that come on it. Whatever. Stop making excuses. Excuses aren't going to help you catch more fish. They're not going to endear you to any audience but the other bottom feeders that are constantly making excuses about everything. So take that time that you would make excuses, invest in yourself, get out on the water, fail. Okay, a lot of times what I see with people that are making hateful comments on the internet and making excuses is they're afraid to fail. So it's somebody else's fault they're not able to do something because they're not willing to get out there and try it themselves and fail. Get out there and fail. Failure is one of those, it's one of the stepping stones on the pathway to success. And so get out there and fail. Learn something. Invest in yourself. Invest in some time on the water to where you become a better angler. And then you're not going to be so frustrated and so bothered that you want to be on the internet complaining about other people. So listen, guys, I really did want to talk to you about 3 or 4 things that I'm seeing a lot. I'm seeing guys having failed knots and losing fish and getting that heartbreak moment. They're not taking a landing net and losing fish. They're on the internet getting themselves worked up into a frenzy for nothing, and they're making excuses for why they're not catching fish. And making an excuse for why you're not catching fish is not going to help you catch any more fish. So even though the title of this video was a little clickbaity, I do feel like this is something that you should have learned from your dad or from your mom along the way. And if I get to be your daddy for this one instance where I teach you something, then these are just lessons that I learned from your mom. And again, it wasn't designed to be clickbait. And I'm going to be real with you. If you're in your mid-20s and your mom grew up anywhere around a naval base or ever lived near a naval base, I mean, you never know. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Hey, y'all do me a favor and comment in the comment section what changed in this backdrop. Comment in the comment section what changed in the backdrop, and I'm going to pick a winner for a $50 gift certificate to one of my favorite sponsors. See y'all in the next one.